Have you ever wondered how AI recommends sources? Have you ever wondered how does AI know what expert to recommend, what product to show, or what feature to put in front of people who are searching on AI for answers? Well, this is how they do it, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how AI does this and how AI picks its sources. Here is the truth. AI just doesn't pull from thin air. It searches the web for reputable sources for answers. And these reputable sources are media publications such as Forbes, Business Insider, Huffington Post, high authority blogs, your local newspapers and radio, your local TV and radio. It searches these places because it sees them as high authority places where people have been placed and people have been quoted. And it goes to these places and it pulls the information from these sources to show to people who are searching AI for answers. And if you are not in these places, then AI will not recommend you. I'm going to walk you through how you can start learning how AI works in relation to your brand visibility and what you need to do now to start letting AI know that you are someone that it needs to recommend to people. Stay tuned. So, if you're not showing up in the media, whether it be local, regional, national, international, you're invisible when it comes to AI. Simple. You don't exist. So, you need to start bringing publicity, bringing media publications, getting to know media publications into your marketing strategy. So you can start letting AI know that you exist and that you are worthy of being put in front of people who are searching AI for answers. So if you're new here, I'm Sandra Coffey, and I am a former journalist with 15 years experience. I started off in a local newspaper. I moved my way into regionals. I worked in nationals in Ireland and the UK and the US. And I also did some broadcast media at the latter stages of my career. And I'm here to help you navigate the tricky world of publicity and how I'm going to make it super simple for you to get featured so AI starts recommending you to people. Today, I want to show you how PR is evolving and evolving really quickly, and how you need to understand this so you start to build in media publicity into your marketing campaigns right now, because AI is deciding the future of influence. It's deciding who gets seen and what brand and businesses it shows to people. AI is now deciding this. Now, I know what you're about to say. What about Google? And hey, look, I've been here. When someone told me, Sandra, AI is actually going to be a really powerful tool, I was a bit skeptical. I said, well, let's wait and see. And I waited and watched. And for the last number of months, I have been reading various reports about AI, in particular to PR and marketing. And people nowadays are looking for products, services, recommendations, and experts by using AI. And some of the experts in these reports that I have read have said that Google search is going to start seeing a lesser importance in the eyes of people searching for answers because they are now going to go straight to AI instead. And if you've been like me, a little bit maybe late to the AI game, but now having had time to absorb it and play around with it and learn, it is a super powerful tool. And come the end of this year into 2026, this tool is going to be hugely powerful. And I can just see massive changes in the PR and marketing space. So let's get into the video. I'm going to walk you through 4 parts so you can start to understand how AI is changing marketing and PR, and also understand what you need to do right now to start weaving your story out there so AI starts to pick up on your expertise. Okay, so part one. Part one is about, okay, so what is actually changing? Well, AI is changing how people view and find your brand. So AI tools like ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, they're trained on credible content. That is what they're trained on. So when somebody types into ChatGPT that they are looking for a mindset coach, a plasterer in their local area, they're looking for an accountant, these tools go to credible sources. So if it's a local plasterer you're after, they might look in the local newspapers in your area. Has anyone been featured in there? In the mindset space, they might look to more lifestyle consumer magazines with high authority and search those for experts that have been featured in there. So anybody that's typing in a question, they are going to get answers from places like Forbes, Business Insider, Huffington Post, your local newspaper, your local radio, your local blogs that have high authority. And these AI tools will scan these and give the results of what it finds in these platforms to the viewer. And when I say high authority are places like Independent, Telegraph, Forbes, etc. And these places have high authority because they're seen as super credible sources. And these credible sources and stories are written by journalists whose main job is to provide value to the person who is reading and consuming the content that they write, post, record. So your media presence now really needs to be part of your digital footprint. You need to start taking PR super serious. So within the next 6 months, AI will be so much more powerful that you need to be in these publications, whether it's local, regional, or national, in a high authority or a niche publication. You need to be in there so AI will find you and recommend you. And AI is shaping not only how people view content, but also how machines view content. So you need to be attractive to both humans and machines. So that's part one out of the way. That's how it's changing. You've got to look at it from an AI point of view. So part two, and it's a question that I often get asked, and I'm going to answer it just in a short little summary in this part. So people ask me, okay, so how does PR build authority? Yes, PR builds visibility. But when you go out looking for media publicity, it shouldn't just be about visibility. It needs to be about building your digital footprint, showcasing your expertise. It's not being featured for feature's sake. It's about being in places that are the right places for you and you're getting in front of the right audience. So these are the three main ways that PR builds authority. First of all, you've got third party validation. So, what is this? When a journalist or a podcast or a blogger writes about you, AI sees this as a high authority publication. A person that has a lot of expertise is writing about this person. So AI says, okay, I need to take this person seriously. This person is worth listening to because they've been quoted in Business Insider, Forbes, or wherever. It's like authority by association. And AI picks up on that pattern because it's been trained to do so. So, second, it's about storytelling. Like I said earlier, PR isn't just about being visible and being in all these different places. You need to be in the right ones. So, it's about being seen as the expert to the right person who you need to get in front of. So, when your story is framed, like, say, around your new unique insights, around your mission, around a problem that you overcame, and it relates to the reader's problems, that's when it's super powerful. When you can connect your problem, your business, your solution to the person who's going to be reading the article. And the journalist in the middle is the channel by which the information gets out into the world. And trust really is the currency of both media and algorithms. So when you get featured in these places, AI sees that as a trustworthy source and it's going to quote it to people who are searching for answers on AI. And thirdly, it builds your SEO credibility. Now, I know there's been lots of conversations about whether SEO will or will not survive. We're not really here to talk about that. Right now, SEO is super important. When you get featured in these places and you're seen as an expert, media placements live on in these high authority publications for years. And that boosts your searchability, it boosts your authority, and AI views this, especially when it's there for the long term, it views it as a credible source. And then while PR builds authority, if you are not in it consistently, and I know you've probably heard this on so many other videos, but PR is one of the areas where you need to build in consistency. You could get featured in Forbes this week, but if you are not consistently building out your media presence, whether you get someone in to help you or you try to do it yourself, or whether you do a mix of both, whatever way you decide, I often recommend that you try and get some help because it's not an easy thing to get off the ground at the beginning. But if you go for this, you need to start building consistency. So you could start locally or in a niche publication and then work your way along to the higher publications. But you'll have to be consistent, and journalists will be looking for consistency when they go to feature you in their story. If you're not being consistent and if you've not been featured in other areas, they don't know whether or not they can trust you or not. And if you want to find out more about what journalists are actually looking for, you can click on the video that is above this video where I walk you through what journalists are actually looking for when you pitch in a story. Okay, so let's look at an example of how one business has really embraced AI both internally in their business, and they've also been embracing the power of AI through brand visibility, through getting media publicity, and that is Canva. So in 2025, if you use Canva, you'll have noticed it has a lot of new AI tools that it has built into its platform. For those of you who don't know Canva, Canva is a super useful tool that helps you build out amazing PowerPoint presentations, amazing graphics, amazing tools to grow your business, Instagram posts, YouTube thumbnails, you name it. It is like a one-stop shop for your all your design needs. But Canva this year has really pulled out all the stops in terms of looking for media placements. So not only have they integrated AI into their own business, they've also recognized that AI is going to recommend Canva to people if Canva gets featured in high authority publications. So they've had their CEO featured in TechCrunch, and they've had their CEO featured in Fast Company, among many others. And they're not just talking about AI, they're talking about the wider conversations around AI. They're sharing successes. They're taking people behind the scenes. They're pushing their CEO out there for interviews. They're not just selling Canva, they're selling the story around Canva. So they're owning the conversation, and they're starting to realize how valuable having these media mentions and media placements and how valuable they are to the AI algorithm. Okay, so what can you do now? Well, the first thing you need to do is figure out how you can integrate PR into your business. Are you currently doing it and maybe not doing it very consistently? But what you need to do to change that is start small and start in your local area or start in your niche area. And what I mean by niche is, let's say if you are a parenting coach, you would look at parenting magazines, parenting supplements in national newspapers. You would look at parenting bloggers, parenting podcasts, and you would develop a strategy around where I'm going to start, and I would recommend that you start small and start with maybe a local podcast or a local parenting magazine and start to build out your media mentions. Now, I am here to help you with that and to try and get you started. And you can absolutely comment below if you would like help or if you're struggling with an issue in this area. Please comment below and let me know. I'm also going to pop a link below to a number of prompts that you can put into AI to start getting your inspirational juices flowing so you can see, where do I need to pitch and where do I need to pitch first. Now, one little note that I would like to say at this point, and that is, journalists are absolutely always looking for experts, but they're looking for experts that are speaking with their own voice. What I mean by that is that you're not using AI to write your answers, because journalists recognize AI content. So if you are thinking, okay, this is going to be really easy, I'm going to get AI to write everything, that's not going to fly. And the reason why that's not going to fly is journalists and readers and publications want you to be the expert. Yes, you are trying to get AI to recognize you as an expert, but the journalist will not use your commentary if it's been generated by AI. And I know this because journalists have told me this. So while using AI is for inspiration and to get you started, amazing, but you need to use your own voice to write your expert commentary and to write the content that you want the journalist to feature, because you're the expert at the end of the day. And it's your voice that the journalist wants, and it's your voice that the journalist wants to amplify. And then after that, you will see the value of it when AI starts to pick up your expertise when it goes out to search for people and products and brands to recommend. So please look at the links below. I'll also put a link to my book, Breaking into the Media, A Journalist's Guide to Publicity. In this book, I have shared so many practical insights from my 15 years experience as a journalist. And in here, you will get a lot of practical ways on how to get this going and how to keep it going. So, like I said, AI is really shaping the future of brand visibility, brand authority, and how your brand is shown to people. So you need to get in on this right now, and you need to start building out your media mentions. I hope you found this video valuable. Please like and subscribe to like the video and subscribe to my channel. It'll really help me this year. I really want to get my expertise out there, and not just for my benefit, but I've been 15 years sitting in newsrooms, and I've just felt this year I really want to share my knowledge so it can help you. And you will see the benefits of this the minute you start putting it into place and you start to get featured. So I hope to see you in my next video. And also, take a look at this video that I did on Barbie's latest campaign, and this other video here about what journalists are actually looking for when you pitch in a story. So please watch one of these videos right after this one.